I'm gonna show you guys how to stay organized while being an entrepreneur and a high school student all at the same time. Yo, what's up, Franck-Maleek here, and welcome to episode 49 of The Journey. Just a disclaimer, this also applies for university students, like any student, any person who's currently learning something at school, at high school, university, even elementary school. Like, if you're a student and you're an entrepreneur, like, this video is for you. You know, I've personally had issues, staying organized while being an entrepreneur and a high school student, especially since, being in high school, you have a lot of homework coming your way. Yeah, like, I know how hard it can be, which is why I compiled a list of things you can do to help yourself be more organized and less stressed as a student and an entrepreneur at the same time. I'm basically gonna show you guys how to balance both of them, okay? The first thing I personally would tell you guys to do is to set aside time for school and time for your projects and all your entrepreneurship and your business type of stuff, right? Because if you try to do everything at the same time, or you just say, okay, let me work, and you're constantly juggling between, I need to do this, I need to do that, you end up doing less. Actually, you're less productive because at the end of the day, you don't know exactly what you need to concentrate more on. So I would tell you to put aside time for school and time for your business and stuff like that. I'm personally pretty lucky because at the school I go to, they kind of base it off a university type of program, so I have a lot of free time, and during those free times I try to kill out all my homework at the same time. Like, if they gave me homework at like 9 in the morning, something like that, and I have free time at 11, I'm gonna do my homework right away, so then when I get home I can just focus on business and everything else that I actually need to do that's important to me, right? The second thing I do a lot is that while I'm in class, instead of just trying to goof around and probably chat with my friends and stuff like that, I'm actually like laser focused. I take notes. I do everything to understand. I do everything to understand every single detail in class, so that way I don't have to study as much at home. Like before, when I was at my other school, I was actually one of the top 3 students every single year, top 1 in my class every single year, and people were asking me like, yo, Frank, like, do you study a lot? And I was looking at them saying like, I study for like 15-30 minutes a day, maybe maximum. And they're like, whoa, because most of them like study for around an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that's mainly because they don't understand in class. They don't try to understand in class because they're chatting with friends, stuff like that, and at the end they end up like studying so much at home, and that wasted so much time. So being an entrepreneur, I really suggest you understand everything you can in class. That way you have so much more free time. Like when the teacher's gonna say, tomorrow there's a test, you just simply need to like maybe reread like your notes, and that takes probably 10 minutes. Make sure you understand everything and you're set, right? So maybe maximum 20-30 minutes, right? The third thing I would recommend you guys all do is prioritize. Prioritizing is everything, right? Like, let's say you have a big exam tomorrow and like it counts for 50% of your grades, stuff like that, and you also have probably some big thing you have to give to one of your clients. So basically you actually just try to judge both of them, tell yourself which one's more important at the moment, right? At the moment. I personally do a daily list with my priorities, like saying, okay, today I need to do all of this, but the priorities are this. Those are the top 3 priorities for school, and these top 3 priorities for like business and stuff like that. And after I put both of them together and we do like, maybe the business stuff is at the top, maybe my top 2 business priorities are at the last of my 6 priorities daily. So just really learn how to prioritize so you can knock off as many things as possible and have more free time to do the little things or things that are actually more meaningful to you. A fourth thing that is super important to learn is how to get over mental breakdowns, right? Being an entrepreneur and a high school student can be can be very stressful at times, and you can just collapse at some points, which is why it's actually really important to learn how to get over mental breakdowns so you get back on your feet right away. I'm actually thinking of making a video about how to get over mental breakdowns as an entrepreneur, so if that's something you guys would actually like to watch, put it down in the comments and I'll definitely make it happen for you. Anyways, the 2 last things I would suggest you do is to maybe have a Justice League, like I said in my previous video, have a team of people to help you with your business stuff. That way you don't feel too stressed about, balancing school and business. Another thing would be learning how to say no. For my example, I'm pretty good at like graphic design and stuff like that, and people people at my school often ask me to help them do graphic designs for their projects they're doing, and you know, I usually just say yes because I'm not the type of person to say no, and that's actually one of my worst qualities that my friends tell me I have. Apparently I'm too nice. That's just the way I am. But I definitely know that if I started saying no, I would have more free time. That's actually something I'm gonna start doing. So when people ask you for so many things, just learn to say no. Like, you don't have to say no flat out to their face. You can be like, I wish I could, but I don't have the time, right? That's a really good excuse that I use personally, and it works. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something from it that will, you know, help you balance your entrepreneurship and school life. Also, leave a comment below, tell me which one of these tips were your favorite ones, and if you have any personal tips that you use yourself, you know, please tell us all down below. You know, we're all sharing our different thoughts and tips about this, you know, whole school entrepreneurship balancing, right? Anyways, be sure to subscribe. You know, this is our journey. We're all reaching success together. And remember, when life gives you lemons, make out with these. Peace.